Hi, Amanda. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's why I'm starting over. Okay, so I apologize for that. I mentioned to my husband that if the door was closed, to not come in because I was doing a video, and I guess he misunderstood what I said. So, yes. Hi, Misty. I am talking about, or I was talking about, um, not letting other people interfere in your relationships. And what I mean by that is, for instance, this is about a year ago, I had a family member who decided that they wanted to constantly stick themselves in the middle between myself and another family member. And it come to find out, the family member who was constantly in the middle was playing both sides and kind of causing trouble between myself and the other family member. I'm not going to go through that whole spiel again. I did tell the whole story, but it's kind of too long to really go through. But after being invited down to the other family member's home and it being pointed out, we realized, okay, this is what's going on. And since then, my relationship with that family member has gotten so much better. And what I was saying was that you need to evaluate your relationships. And if it appears that somebody is always in the middle and always seems like there's always trouble between you and another person, and there's a third party who seems to always be in the middle, you need to look at it and say, is that person causing trouble? Are they playing both sides? Are they creating drama and stirring the fire to keep the two of us from having the best relationship we can? And if that's the case, then you need to figure out how to take care of that, and there's nothing wrong with going to that person and saying, this is what I've noticed is going on, and it's not okay. So that's basically what we were talking about. And I lost my train of thought again. I seem to be doing that a lot. Does anybody have any comments, questions? I don't know. Is there anybody in your life that seems, to be doing that? Yeah. I'm the same way. I honestly am. And sometimes people have a hard time handling that. I'm a very blunt person. If you're doing something I don't like, or I'm told that you've said something about me, I'm gonna go to you and confront you about it. Some people in my life can't handle that. But hi, Billy. Sorry, Billie Jean. Oh, just to put it out there. Oh. Right. Definitely. That's the best thing to do, because then you get it all out in the open. And there's no way that, there's no way that people can still lie, but it'll be easier if you sit all three of them down, because the chances of them lying in front of the other person are very slim. See, I knew there was a reason why we connected better. Like I said, some people in my life, they have a hard time handling it. I don't know if it's the same way with you, Misty, if some people in your life have a really hard time handling it, but I've actually lost friendships and relationships over being so blunt, but I would rather be blunt and tell you the truth than be two-faced and lie to your face. But off subject for a moment, if anyone out there watching likes cookbooks, I'm going to be getting rid of all of my cookbooks because where I've gone vegan, there's no point in having cookbooks that have meat recipes in them, so another off-topic thing, but how was everyone's weekend? Mine was okay. I had all 3 of my nieces this weekend. That was fun. I had a rough day yesterday, but other than that, it was good. Josie! Oh, goodness. Does anyone have any other comments to make? How are you today, Josie? Yeah, I know, Amanda. You better stay away from me. I don't want what you got. Although chances are I'll probably get it since you live with me. That's good, Josie. How are the girls today? And you know, another good point about preventing others from getting in the middle of your relationships is, like, even with, like, your marriage, you know, really other people, your marriage is between you and your spouse. It's not between you, your spouse, and everyone else. You know, so if, you know, you have a problem going on with your spouse, you need to keep it between the two of you. Thankfully, I'm married to a man who understands that I am a private person when it comes to that. And so he respects me in the fact that he doesn't go around telling everybody our business. You know, like, I don't even, you know, I don't really talk to anybody about anything that goes on in my relationship. I think the only person I do is maybe my sister Amanda and my best friend Josie. But other than that, it's between, you know, my husband and I. And I lucked out to marry a man who, you know, kind of feels the same way about things. It's kind of dark. Just a second. I'm going to go turn on the light. And you can see my beautiful, fugly face. I'm just kidding. So, another off-subject comment. My meal plan has completely been thrown out of whack because I got some cheese that I thought was dairy-free and it isn't, so I can't use it now. And I can't find any dairy-free ricotta or other dairy-free products. So, my meals have been kind of thrown out of whack because, oh, pardon me, now I don't have that stuff. So, tonight for dinner I'm going to have a salad. Oh, thank you, Josie, but, you know, every woman sees their own flaws, sorry. Does anybody have anything they want to say on in the aspect of the topic? I know I've been kind of going on a couple rabbit trails, but let's be real, okay? It's not always easy staring at your phone, talking into it, because it makes you feel like you're talking to yourself, so. I was like, oh, geez, I got a hair on my lip. I mean, never mind. There's a hair from my head, not that I have a hair growing out of my lip. But I say Josie should be able to relate to this topic of having other people interfere in your relationships and kind of cause trouble and stir. What I was talking about was, which you already know the story because I've told you, but the family member that decided to constantly get in the middle between myself and another family member and cause trouble between the two of us, which it really put a damper on my relationship with the other person, because the person in the middle was always twisting words and making things worse than what they really were. And of course, myself and the other person believed this person. And a couple times, myself and the other person, we ended up cutting each other out of each other's lives. We weren't talking and stuff, and it's just it was bad. It was really bad. And this particular person, is somebody that I really wanted a relationship with, and it was hard. It was hard to have no, this person isn't saying things anymore. It was on my mind yesterday, because where my relationship with the other person has gotten so much better and where I was having a hard time, I was really having a hard day yesterday, and I don't really want to go into too many details because it's an emotional subject for me, but we'll just say that it involves children, and I was depressed yesterday. I was sad because, every woman wants to have children, and anyways, so I was talking with this other person whose relationship, was kind of rocky because of the person in the middle. And this person really helped me with the subject yesterday. But that's why I was thinking about it, and that's why I figured I'd talk about it, because I know that that's a problem in a lot of people's lives. I want to say it's probably safe to say that every single person, my hair looks awful, every single person has one person in their life that causes trouble, turmoil. They take their words and they twist them, and they're constantly, Amanda, I'm not gonna tell them to do that. Oh, shoot. Just a second. Let me see if this will. Is it a little bit better now, Josie? Can you hear me all right? Okay, that's good. I think it might have been the air conditioner. I had the air conditioner on, so it might have been causing problems. I don't know. But anyways, what I was saying was there's at least one person in every person's life that's causing trouble. Whether it be they're taking something that you said and they're twisting it and repeating it to other people, or if they're just flat out causing fights between you and other people. And like I said, I had somebody like that in, my life. And I didn't know it. For 10 years, this went on. For 10 years, that person in my life was playing both sides with pretty much everybody and was causing trouble between myself and another family member. And because of that, myself and the other family member, our relationship was not good. We did not have a good relationship. And that's especially this particular family member, you're supposed to have a good relationship with. And because of that person in my life who liked to cause trouble, I didn't have a good relationship with that family member. Like I said, the family member had invited me down to their home about a year ago, and kind of because they had a falling out with the person who was causing trouble, and they realized what was going on. And so they invited my husband and I down to their house, and they kind of told us, like, this is what's going on. These are some of the things that had been said in front of me when you were not around to defend yourself, or things that had been said about your husband when he was not around to defend himself. And I was appalled, and I was hurt. I was hurt, and my hurt turned into anger, because the person who was causing the trouble was supposed to be a person who loved me and protected me. And they were doing just the opposite. They were actually talking about me behind my back and saying some really mean and ignorant things about myself and my husband. And, for me personally, if you say what you want about me, but don't go running your mouth about my husband or my family members. Don't run your mouth about my sisters or my brothers or anything like that. I don't like that. I don't like people talking about me behind my back, but I'd rather you talk about me than talk about somebody else that I love. But the person who was causing trouble, I unfortunately had to distance myself from. And when you find that out, that somebody that you love and is supposed to love you is doing that kind of thing to you and prohibiting you from having a good relationship with a family member, you tend to not really want to really be around that person anymore. And this particular person has done this thing to several different people, and pretty much every person that this person has done that to doesn't really go around and see this person very much. And when you do stuff like that, what do you expect? You can't belittle people. You can't say whatever you want about them and cause trouble in their life and expect them to be all happy-go-lucky with you. So again, my advice to you is, if you have somebody in your life who you think might be doing that, who might be in the middle of a relationship with you and another person, go, like my sister Missy said, and it's probably the best advice ever, first evaluate the situation, because you don't want to accuse somebody if, they're not actually doing that. But you need to step back and look at it, kind of watch and observe. And if you think that that's what they're doing, then you need to sit all three people down and you need to have a blunt, honest conversation with them and say, this is what's going on. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I have observed. And I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on it. And chances are, and I'm going to tell you this now because I've dealt with this quite a bit, if the person who is causing the trouble, once you confront them or ask them, if they get defensive, there you go. You figured it out, that they actually are doing what you think that they're doing. Because if they're not doing it, they're not going to get defensive. If they're not doing it, their feelings might be hurt and they'll, react in a way like, I'm really hurt that you would think that I would do that, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But if they act defensive, then you need to look at it like, okay, well, then there's probably some truth to what I'm thinking. And then from that point, only you can decide how you want to handle the situation from that point. Myself personally, my relationship with the other person has gotten much better because we have both agreed and decided that it's a relationship between the two of us and nobody else is going to get involved. That if somebody comes to us and says, oh, so and so said this, we're not going to just believe what they're saying. We're going to go to that person and say, this is what was said, and I just want you to be aware of it, and I just wanted to know if there was any truth to it. And that's what myself and this family member have been doing, and our relationship has gotten so much better. Like, in the past, I couldn't really talk to this family member about anything because in my mind, from what I was told, I couldn't trust her. I couldn't trust anything that I told her because from what I was told, she, repeated things and whatnot. I've come to learn that that was not the truth and that it was actually made to be worse than what it really was. That's true. Oh, yeah, Josie. I remember that. And that's another thing I can't stand. I can't stand fake people. Like, with me, what you see is what you get. I'm not perfect. I have flaws. I have a temper. I'm not gonna lie. I have a temper, but I also have a really good heart. I'm very sensitive. My feelings get hurt very easily. If I feel left out, I feel really hurt and I get sad. But when it comes to family members, I do get very protective of them. So for me, like, what you see is what you get. You don't have to guess about what I'm thinking. You don't have to guess if this is really who Tiffany is, because what you see is what you get. I am an idiot. I act like an idiot with my best friends. I love laughing. I love making other people laugh. I do have a temper problem. Unfortunately, I've inherited that from both sides of my biological family, from what I'm learning. I working on bettering myself with my, temper. I have a good heart. So I guess my point is what you see is what you get. There's no guessing. And those are my favorite kind of people. I want to be around people that this is who they are and they're not afraid to be who they are. My best friend is that way, thankfully. And I mean, I haven't always been like this because when I was a teenager, this very same family member that caused trouble between me and other people, had a really bad habit of kind of belittling me and kind of making me feel silly for something I might like. I might say, oh, I really like this, and they would laugh at me and make me feel silly for it. I would say, hey, I want to be a singer someday. And this person would look at me and laugh and say, I don't think that's going to happen because you don't have a very good voice. At one time, I told this person that I wanted to be a missionary because at that point, that's what I was passionate about. And this person told me that that wasn't a good idea because bad things happen to single white women overseas and that I should just stay in the United States. And then when I talked about being a missionary in a different state, well, then there was another reason why that wasn't a good idea. I told this person that I wanted to be an author. I love writing. I haven't really written in a long time, but I love writing poetry. And I had written a poem for this person, and I wanted to turn it into a children's book. And this person told me that they didn't want me to do it because that poem was written for them. And that the chances of me being able to successfully write a book are very slim because it's such a hard thing to do. So I guess my point is I haven't always been this way, but I am this way now. You sound like... What? I sound like Carrie... I don't sound like Carrie Underwood. Oh, goodness. I get the I get what you're doing. The joke, the inside joke. I got it. But what was I saying? And that's I keep going on rabbit trail, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe I should just label videos thoughts for the day. But that's another thing that I would advise to you is if you have somebody in your life who is treating you that way, who every time you have a dream, every time you have a passion, every time you wear something and they make ignorant comments about the way you look, every time you do your hair and they tell you mean things about, well, you don't look good with long hair, you should keep your hair short, or you don't look good with your hair in a ponytail. Don't get me wrong. I love honesty, and the people in my life, I want them to be honest with me, but I don't want someone to be so honest with me that they're constantly bringing me down and making me feel crappy about myself. So if you have somebody in your life who does that, you have two options. You can either confront them, which I tried to do several times with this person, and it did not end well. This person always got mad at me, and then I ended up apologizing because I hate it when people get mad at me. Which is really silly because I'm a complicated person. Now, if I have to protect a family member, I will, whether you're mad at me or not. But if you're mad at me for something that, I wasn't doing anything, you get mad at me, I hate that. I really do. I hate it. But you have two options. You can either confront the person about how they make you feel, and if that doesn't go well, then the only other option that you have is either deal with it and just let it keep happening, or distance yourself. Because 4 years ago when I met my husband, I was a very broken person. I was very broken, and it's taken, quite a few years for me to even get to the point that I'm at right now. But when I met my husband, I had such low self-esteem. I really did. I had really low self-esteem. I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't really even dare to have dreams or passions anymore because I didn't want them to be shot down. And, thankfully, I married an amazing man who makes me feel beautiful, even though I still don't think I am, but he loves me, and he's really helped me over the last 4 years. I am going to therapy now to help me with other issues and dealing with some emotions that have come up from the past. Been reconnected with some people that makes you think on the past, and it brings up emotions from my childhood. And yeah, so anyways. Anyone have any thoughts? Oh, thank you, Amanda. I love you. You're a really good sissy, you know that? I am learning how to let things go. It's hard, but I'm learning. Anybody have any other comments? I will be going live again tomorrow, and tomorrow my best friend will be with me. I have no idea what we'll be talking about tomorrow, but again, if anybody watching has a topic that they want us to discuss, just let us know. Well, if nobody has any questions or comments or anything, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and I'm gonna go stuff my face with my salad. Maybe play GTA or watch Seinfeld. Oh, which by the way, guys, I've been watching Seinfeld, And I was browsing Hulu last night because I, once again, couldn't fall asleep. Story of my life. But they have all kinds of shows on Hulu. They have Golden Girls, they have Frasier, they have Mary Tyler Moore show. Oh gosh, they had so many different things. They have Saved by the Bell. So I'll be like, I'm going back to my childhood. That's all I'm saying. All right. Thank you guys. I'm my sister and my other sister slash best friend are giving me like a boatload of hearts right now. You guys are so funny. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Be happy. Find joy in your life. Don't let other people interfere in your relationships. You have the right to have a happy and healthy relationship with everyone in your life without other people getting involved. And you have every right to confront somebody if they're doing something like that. And if there's somebody in your life who is belittling you constantly and making you feel like a piece of dirt, you have the right to confront them, and you have the right to end that relationship if you need to. Because you deserve to have people in your life who lift you up and bring you up and make you feel beautiful and wonderful. You don't deserve to have somebody do the opposite. And I just realized you guys can see the back of my head, which is really messy because it just is. Anyways, you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye!